Military recruiting in high schools has been a mainstay of the so-called all-volunteer armed forces from the start. High school kids are at an age when being a member of an identifiable group with a grand mission and a shared spirit, and never underestimate a distinctive uniform, is of exaggerated importance, something gang recruiters in big cities note with interest and exploit with skill.
I believe that everybody should serve at least some length of time in the military. As with all things, there are certain things you can only learn in a position, and I think the military teaches its members discipline, duty, responsibility, and an appreciation for our rights more so than other occupations. One learns that politicians that speak about actions are important, but also that our respect truly lies towards those members of our armed forces who have sacrificed their own well-being in the name of our country.
But even in the new age of warfare, we cling to the outdated notion of a single hero able to carry out daring feats of courage on the battlefield. Such heroism is about as relevant as mounting bayonet or cavalry charges.
Like most kids, I wanted to be like my dad, and to do so, I'd attend the Air Force Academy. My sister also received an appointment to the Academy my freshman year of high school.
As the Strategic Communications Director of the Air Force Recruiting Services states, in order to reach young men and women today, we need to be in tune and engaged in their circles. Children and adolescents throughout the world are increasingly using the Internet. Between 1998 and 2001, the percentage of U.S. 14 to 17-year-olds using the Internet increased from 51% to 75%. Almost 50% of U.S. adolescents go online every day.
The sacrifice and separation that Marines will endure is worth it. But we're self-supported by, the Marine Corps family in and of itself.
One of the greatest rewards of serving in the Marines is that there's no such thing as an ex-Marine, no such thing as a former Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
There is some immeasurable, unquantifiable connectivity that you will have with Marines once you earn the EGA of all shape, stripe, background, from all parts of living history. And it's the most uncanny thing. And it doesn't matter if you are a 19-year-old who's just finished his first deployment, or you are a 89-year-old who remembers the Chosin Reservoir. You two will have a connection.
Semper Fi is always faithful, and it's what it's all about. It's the Marine Corps. We're always faithful to the Corps. We're always faithful to our country, and I know if I go down, I'm going to have somebody that's going to have my back, going to put me on the shoulders, and we're going to accomplish the mission. That is what it's all about.
In the same years that MySpace has become an Internet superpower, the United States Armed Forces have sustained substantial losses. Little wonder, then, with 80% of MySpace users reporting they're over 18 years old, that the military set its sight on occupying some virginal virtual territory in search of fresh-faced recruits who might be thrown into the Afghan and Iraqi breaches. There is no doubt that Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps programs target poor, Black, and Latino kids who don't have the widest range of options to begin with. Recruiters know where to go. Schools with kids from wealthier families and a high percentage of college-bound students are not viewed as good prospects. The kids in those schools are not the kids who fight America's wars. On military websites, unpleasantries like death and danger typically go unmentioned.
When you get deployed, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be in the Middle East or Iraq.
If I was to get mobilized, it really wouldn't be a whole big ordeal because my school and people I work.
The minute I got to the top of the bridge, they had set it off an IED and it hit the truck. And one friend of mine was killed, and I was hurt real bad.
Severed artery in his leg. He'd lost the hearing in his left ear. He had a concussion. Horrendous shrapnel injuries down his entire left side.
That invincibility, that buying into Marine stuff, it ends that first day.
I would absolutely recommend a military path to the high school student who wants to serve their country. I would not at all recommend it to someone looking for a free education. It does require some drastic sacrifices, up to and including your life, if need be.
To join the military, you have to be a very special kind of individual. In all honesty, there are some people that can make a greater positive difference in this world by not joining in the military, while others feel they can make a greater difference by joining the military. I wouldn't say it's a better or worse option. It's just a different option. Emphasis on different. The real military. It's not very glamorous, and it's often not very heroic. But with most things in life, what you get out of the military is what you put in. And unless you're willing to devote yourself wholeheartedly at all times to your mission in the military, then the military is probably not for you.
The Academy claims to boast the nation's best and brightest. Though it meets this criterion for many of its cadets, I feel that with a large majority it falls short of this title. Technology is getting better and more efficient, but I feel like incoming recruits are getting denser and less physically fit. This may be an attempt to lower standards in an effort to heighten recruitment rates, but I feel like the military should set the bar high and keep it steady there. It is an honor and a privilege to serve the nation, and only those willing to put in the time and effort should be allowed entrance.